Your Majesty at your service. Welcome to Fair Queen Talks. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of my podcast, Law Abiding Citizen. The political atmosphere in many countries has engaged citizens all over to be more informed and have a greater interest in politics. We can all have different opinions about how things should be, but one thing that is missing is having respect for people who think differently. In society that can sometimes be divided over politics, it is so important for us as individuals to understand our political systems in order to exercise our rights, but also for us to be good citizens. In this episode, I want to explore the idea of being a law-abiding citizen in a political system that may not reflect our personal norms and values. The two main topics that have dominated the news channels that I watch are 1. The UK lockdown, and 2. The US elections. These topics are very interesting and can be controversial because people have very different opinions on them. So much so that some people are willing to break the law and mistrust the political processes. A law-abiding citizen is a person that is considered to be good and honest because they always obey the law. Having a sense of integrity is very important to me, and even though I'm not perfect, I try my best to obey the law, especially at this time due to the restrictions. But not everyone feels the same way, making it very difficult to find common ground with loved ones who don't think the same. The level of comfortability to bend the rules is very different for each household. And the idea that it's bad for wanting to physically spend time or even hug loved ones outside of your household can feel ridiculous and unfair. During last week's episode, I spoke about not being short-sighted, and the restrictions imposed on us are not going to be permanent, even though it may feel like it. New laws and rules that are currently present because of the pandemic are not going to last forever, so stay strong. We should all encourage each other to be law-abiding citizens because the consequences for not following the rules are not good for our conscience and could potentially create health risks for those around us. And if you don't agree with the rules, learn how you can contest them through the law. So go about your ways legally. I've learned to make peace with how I have to live my life under the current rules, and I encourage you to embrace what you can do during these times. So when it comes to the US elections, it appears to me that some people don't trust the democratic system if it doesn't favor their views. Democracy is not about us as individuals, rather it's about the collective voice and the majority of a group of people. All we can do is to make sure that we participate in our democratic processes. The outcome of those processes is something we cannot control, but we can definitely participate in. Nevertheless, we have to respectively accept the results. And if we disagree, we need to look at what we can do legally to ensure that political processes favor our values that are currently not constituted. The law should reflect the wider society and ensure that everyone has equal rights. If there are discrepancies in the law, let's find ways to improve them. People, no matter of their background, should be able to be part of the political system and also the wider society. We would have more law-abiding citizens if the law did not discriminate and did not treat people differently. If the law didn't criminalize people for who they were. As long as our actions don't infringe the rights of others to be happy and safe, we should all be able to live happily ever after. We should all have the chance to participate fully in our societies and have laws that protect the interests of people who are simply trying to do their best to be good and productive in their respective societies. As we have now officially entered Lockdown 2.0 in the UK and are waiting for the winner of the presidential elections in the US, it is my wish that people respect the political processes and remember that nothing is forever. Being a law-abiding citizen will allow us to maintain a good sense of integrity and give us the right to exercise our rights under the law, we will have a greater chance of getting our voice heard if we remain good citizens. At the end of each episode, I address the Queendom. Stay home as much as you can and stay safe when you go outside. Participate in your political system all year round to make your voice heard. Being a good citizen says more about you. Don't risk your health. Thank you so much for listening to Fair Queen Talks. See you next time.